If you want to understand one thing about Dallas Cowboys wide receiver George Pickens, let it be this. For every great or good thing Pickens does, you can count on him doing something equally as stupid to offset it. Take, for example, the Cowboys' thrilling 24-21 win over the defending Super Bowl champion Philadelphia Eagles in Week 12. Pickens was brilliant. He looked like he might be the best wide receiver in the NFL with 9 receptions for 146 yards and 1 touchdown. So, of course, in the wake of several days of glowing praise, Pickens had to light the match. This time, it came in the form of social media, where he called out Eagles fans in a since-deleted reply to a post from Eagles superfan Gilly the Kid. "We cast Philly fans," Pickens wrote. Expletive, known for sandwiches. As we know at this point in his career, decision-making isn't Pickens' strong suit. Pickens, Cowboys made history against Eagles. Instead of going online to smack-talk Eagles fans, Pickens should have spent the last few days basking in the light of his virtuoso performance against Philadelphia, a game in which the Cowboys tied their franchise record by rallying from a 21-0 deficit for the win. Pickens was simply unstoppable against whoever the Eagles tried to put on him, or however man people they tried to put on him. After 11 games, Pickens is second in the NFL with 1,044 receiving yards and 7 touchdowns. George Pickens has blossomed into a superstar with the Cowboys, Pro Football Focus wrote on its official X account. Cowboys traded for Pickens in spring. The Cowboys sent a 2026 third-round pick to the Pittsburgh Steelers in exchange for Pickens in May after a series of on-field and off-field incidents, including Pickens showing up late for a Christmas Day game against the Kansas City Chiefs in 2024. That, along with almost a dozen fines for taunting, fines, and even writing messages on his iTape got him his walking papers out of the Steel City. Pickens' breakout game against the Eagles came just 1 week after he was benched for the first series of a Week 11 win over the Las Vegas Raiders for missing the team bus to the stadium. Craziest stat ever, ML Football wrote on its official X account. Cowboys WR George Pickens has more receiving yards than all the Pittsburgh Steelers wide receivers combined this season. Pickens' individual receiving yards, 1,044 Pittsburgh WR Corp total yards, 1,009 Pittsburgh traded Pickens for a third-rounder. "That man don't got to fit in, he stands out," Cowboys wide receiver CeeDee Lamb said to The Athletic's John Machota. "GP is a hell of a player, man. And there's plenty more excitement where that's coming from." Eagles fans, as expected, were more than ready to take it just one step further. "I've never had an ACL wish list, but that might change today," Eagles fan Ms. wrote on X in a reply to Pickens' comments. "Sometimes, you just have to let him know." Dallas Cowboys wide receiver CeeDee Lamb to a Thanksgiving Day game against the Kansas City Chiefs as an opportunity to reassert his dominance among the NFL's elite wide receivers, grabbing 7 receptions for 112 yards and 1 touchdown in a 31-28 win that felt like a playoff game. That it also came after everyone in the world had just watched Lamb drop pass after pass in a Week 12 win over the Philadelphia Eagles, including a surefire touchdown, didn't hurt either. "Regardless if I play good or bad, I know my guys have back," Lamb said in a post-game interview. "That's the most important thing to me." While it's great Lamb has such an incredible support system around him with his teammates, the actual most important thing is his ability to catch passes, which was brought into question by everyone with a microphone in front of their face over the last week. Now, the Cowboys have won 3 consecutive games to finally peak their heads above .500 at 6-5-1 headed into a massive road game against the struggling Detroit Lions in Week 14. Win there, and the rest of the schedule lines up with 4 games the Cowboys should all be favored in, mostly because of the high-level quarterback Dak Prescott, Lamb, and fellow wide receiver George Pickens are playing at right now. They have what seems like the NFL's best wide receiver combo right now, ESPN's Mike Tannenbaum said on SportsCenter on Friday, November 28th. "These guys seem uncoverable right now." Social media reacts to CeeDee's bounce-back game. What's incredible about Lamb falling flat against the Eagles was the Cowboys still won the game anyways, something that would have been impossible 1 year ago. Now, the Cowboys have Pickens, who had 9 receptions for 146 yards and 1 touchdown against the Eagles. If Lamb is on point, the Cowboys really are impossible to guard. Let's not forget Lamb was a three-time NFL All-Pro and four-time Pro Bowler in his first 5 seasons, and they don't give four-year, $136 million contracts to just any dude off the street. George Pickens and CeeDee Lamb versus the Chiefs. 13 catches, 200 receiving yards, 1 touchdown, PFF Fantasy wrote on its official X account. I can't believe people actually questioned if CeeDee Lamb is a number 1 WR, Master Tez wrote on X. What a useless conversation. When covered by Trent McDuffie, CeeDee Lamb caught 4 of 5 targets for 44 yards and a touchdown, also drawing 3 penalties for 50 yards, Next Gen Stats wrote on its official X account. McDuffie allowed 65 receiving yards on the evening after he had not allowed 40 yards in any prior game this season. Sometimes it's George Pickens, Cowboys fan Dan Rogers wrote on his official X account. Sometimes it's CeeDee Lamb. Sometimes it's both. Stop trying to divide them. What Cowboys have left on their schedule? If the Cowboys can somehow get past the Lions on Thursday Night Football in Week 14, they have a real chance to close out the season with 8 consecutive wins. After playing the Lions, the Cowboys return home for 3 consecutive games against the Minnesota Vikings, Los Angeles Chargers, and Washington Commanders before finishing the season against the New York Giants. Only the Chargers have a winning record out of that group. Rumors indicate possible Cowboys' interest in Daniel Jones after recent appearances in Dallas. The Dallas Cowboys offseason gained a new element this week after rumors surfaced that the franchise was monitoring Daniel Jones' situation. Although there are no official negotiations underway, sources close to the market describe the scenario as curious and worthy of attention, especially after Jones was seen in Dallas at undisclosed engagements. The quarterback's presence in the city was enough to ignite speculation among NFL insiders, who suggest that the Cowboys may be evaluating alternatives to strengthen the quarterback position. Dallas doesn't let opportunities pass them by. If there's any market opportunity involving quarterbacks, they at least listen, commented an NFC executive on condition of anonymity. Jones, currently questioned in New York due to inconsistency and salary impact, could theoretically become an option if the Giants decide to restructure their roster. Within the Cowboys fanbase, the idea is divisive. Some see Jones as an experienced backup with above-average athleticism, while others reject the possibility of acquiring a quarterback who has faced Dallas in the division for years. On the Giants' side, any sign of movement involving Jones is treated as sensitive, as the franchise is still carefully evaluating its future at the position. For now, everything remains a rumor, but, as often happens in the NFL, where a simple presence in the city can become headline news, Daniel Jones' name is already circulating strongly among insiders and commentators. Whether there is something concrete behind this smoke, or if it's all just a coincidence, the next few days should clarify.